Alan Syliboy is no stranger to the Beaverbrook Art Gallery. I had the pleasure of working with him just a few years ago on the big blockbuster show we did called Ekbahak. And Alan and I were co-curators of that show, and that was a very memorable experience for me and for everyone involved. And since that time, we've purchased one of Alan's works, which is hanging upstairs. And we've been following Alan's career very closely, and there's no stopping this guy, because just this past summer he was commissioned to produce a brand new mural for the Halifax Stanfield International Airport, and it's pretty remarkable. At the same time that he was working on this project, working on a graphic novel with Gasbro Press, and this is Alan's year, his band, Lone Cloud, which is going to be performing at 2 o'clock upstairs, won the Aboriginal Album of the Year Award at the East Coast Music Awards. And so, you know, something's going right for Alan, and all of us, because he's sharing this great, product. And one of the things that I enjoy most about Alan is just the positive energy from all the work, creativity, artist, musician, activist, and he's an inspiration to everyone. So I'm going to turn the floor over to Alan, and he's going to tell us about his latest creation, which is a stretch for him. It's a very different thing because we've known Alan through his colorful paintings, and he's just very creative and going in another direction now. And so Alan's going to tell us all about the Thundermaker.
Thank you, Terry. Good afternoon. I'm just really happy to see the good turnout here. I think my art career started with, I got started at the beginning. That's a good place, I think. And it would be, Shirley Bear gave me one of my very first art lessons, and I did a program with her when I was in my teens, and this was in the 70s. So that really started my art career, showed me the world was a big place, an interesting place, and ever since, you know, life is good being an artist. Life's not easy, but life is good, you know. And so many years I've been, I went to NASCAD for a while I didn't graduate. I was a dropout. I dropped out a lot of things. School wasn't that hot either, but I got on board directors at NASCAD too. So for grade 9 education, I thought, you know, it's okay. We're doing all right, I guess. But anyway, all of the projects I've done, and it's just one to another, and staying busy, making art every day, and that's a fantastic thing. Having an opportunity in this gallery right here today is a major accomplishment for me. And Terry and this gallery has done a lot to bring Native people here and to tell our stories. To me, I think that's very, very important. You can see from the Ekbahak show to now, we have accomplished a lot. And we have new artists coming up, and they're in here today, and their work is great. You got to see their show upstairs as well. And I just want to tell you a little bit about the show where this is another direction. I've always been a storyteller, and I can tell jokes pretty well too. But I always like telling stories. I just like listening. And I remember lots of people telling me stories that, you know, I can remember. Those are the best times sitting there and imagining taking me somewhere. And so Little Thunder, the original story was one that was overlooked and not tampered with. It is a pure state that it was found. That's very, very important. It came from a Mi'kmaq speaker directly from Mi'kmaq language, and it took 4 years to translate it. It was a 150-year-old Mi'kmaq, of course. And so that's an important story. Just by chance, I ended up being the illustrator for that book, and it was like I was practicing all my life for that job. And so Little Thunder has been with me for a while now. He's been to the Olympics. The original one has been in over 40 festivals. He's been to LA Disney, He won an award in Montreal. He's in a show we're traveling right now, Canada's Best Animation. It's going international and national. So Little Thunder, like Real Thunder, is making an impression wherever it goes. People know he's in town, so that's what's been happening with him. But this is sort of the end of that series, and I had lots of great people work on me, help me with the original one. I had Nancy Ackerman and Peyton Francis was my animator, and he has a lot of ties up this way, and it was just fantastic. And National Film Board also financed it and helped us out. That was my first animation, work in animation, like hands-on. So this new one, it's called A Thunder Maker, and it's going to be a graphic novel. And it's going to come out in the spring. So what you see here is sort of the short version of that book. And it'll change. It's not quite finished yet. It's kind of raw. But I think you'll like what you see in the direction it's kind of going in. And some of these stories, like the eel fishing segment, is, well, we used to eel fish when I was a child. And we did it just like that. And the rabbit hunting, I did my first and only rabbit. I found out I was not a killer. but I didn't stop eating rabbit, though. But anyway, so anyway, all of that is all of those elements are in this, and the stories I gather, research all these years are in these stories. But they're in my own words, but they're based on legends. There's a Little Thunder is becoming the new Thunder Maker. It's his turn. The first circle in the outside is about him and his mother mostly. He gets teachings from his mother, and that's how typically Native children were brought up. The mother taught them all the basics and the things you got to know about medicines and food and everything, all the practical stuff that you need. And his mother did that. And in the inside circle, when you come through, this is the beginning on the other side, and this is the beginning of the inside as well. So when you come inside, if you finish the outside circle first, come in here and then do this circle inside. So when you finish this circle, then obviously you can't miss this, because you're hearing thunder, you got to look in here. because that is Little Thunder going to work, throwing his first thunderbolt. And that's sort of, it's the end of this series. Who knows what will happen after this? Maybe there'll be more books, who knows? You're going to see this as a graphic novel. One of my main reasons I wanted a graphic novel is that it will be a small book, affordable, and every school can afford this book. So that's what I want, and I'm going to start for the next few years writing. And I'm going to do contemporary books as well as native life as well. So I'm doing, this is kind of a new direction for me now. And usually, yes, I'm known as a painter, have been. I just enjoyed it so much, it was hard to change to something, but this is good. I'm really happy with this presentation and where it's present. And I want you to all come back and spend time reading these panels and spend some time with them. And then soak it into it. Today it's kind of like we're all here, and but we need to all come back. It's going to be here until January, so there'll be a lot of opportunity. I think, I've had 8 years in my studio, and now I'm going to be in a writing cabin mostly, and not as painting as much, but writing. But it's all that storytelling that I have collected up all these years, and that's but I'm going to be doing it for the next few years. You know, not to say I won't be doing, you know, painting again, but I will. But I want to focus on writing now, telling stories, you know, just. And so, oh yeah, and our band, Lone Cloud, is playing upstairs at 2 o'clock, right after this. So I hope you come up and listen to us. We've been around for almost 10 years, but it took us the last 5 to really more serious, and we got to be formed. But, you know, I'm a very patient guy. This show took me 7 years to get here, so being patient is, you know, I don't know, that maybe that hunting gene waiting for something to just come by, you know, and sit there all day. I guess that's where that comes from, because I can wait. But, you know, it's ready now. It's ready now. This gallery staff has been fantastic. Craig and Troy helped me put it up. It was fun, enjoyed all that process. Worked with Terry, everybody was here, and enjoyed it so much. And I also wanted to say about this animation. This animation was made for me with the help of students from the community college in Truro, animation people. And there's 10 animators involved in it, all new animators. And that's really big, because when I sat there and I told a story and I formulated, they took notes, they took sketches, and we built this thing right from nothing, there was nothing when we started, and then we built this story up and up. And it was good experience for them, but for me too, it's fresh life that's coming, and that's new animators is like that. I know we have one of the head animators here today, Jan Soley. I had others. I had Pat Powers, a friend of mine. He's a graphic artist, and he did the lettering, and the lettering is phenomenal. I mean, this is all by hand. This is not, you know, it's not stickers. These are all done by hand. And so what you see here is done the old way, and you know, I hope you appreciate the, you know, all the effort, especially the writing. I mean, we were working until 4 in the morning to get here, and I don't think we made any big mistakes. We're okay. But let me know if you see any. But I'd like to thank Greg Nicholas for coming. That was Lieutenant Governor, and Mrs. Nicholas, thank you. And it's Andy, my good friend from many years ago, that gave me the right code words to come to New Brunswick, and I've been using that. It's something like T-shirt, but I don't know anyway. But it's been getting me in here, and I've been coming to New Brunswick, and and that's not that border doesn't mean anything to me. We forget all about it, and it's good to come together in one place and do this. It really is. It's really a highlight, and I know lots of friends are here. I have a friend from Halifax that drove all the way up. She helped us, supporting us, and Cameron Allworth is here all the way up from Halifax. So, important part of this project. So, and I'm sure I forgot people in my band also came up this morning, and they're working hard. So, I hope you enjoy them. Yeah, any questions, I'll ask, you can ask some questions.
Alan's so modest, but he also has work on now in Moncton. On
Yes,
view.
yes.
Where?
At the University of Moncton. It's called Aboriginal Voices.
It's a group show. And,
Yes.
And you have an upcoming
Jordan
show.
Bennett and Ursula Johnson.
Yeah.
Yes.
And locally with Ingrid Mueller. Ingrid, what's the date? When's that happening?
Yeah, what's the date?
Okay, it's up and coming. I'm putting them on the spot.
It's too much pressure. She doesn't want to tell me.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Okay.
did?
Okay.
I
We'll get
forgot.
back to you on that, or you can stay posted. But look at my T-shirt, because you can't leave here without a Little Thunder souvenir. It's Alan's. Looks like Power Rangers, and I think everyone will like it.
The original.
Lightning is flashing, and it's the painting over here, the representation of that. And there's also CDs upstairs of Lone Cloud.
Yes.
See, I can plug out all these products for Alan. So it's just a real pleasure to work with Alan, and just to see the level of that he's working at, the creativity, and the community aspect of it. I think that's really important. The number of people that Alan is able to bring into his circle that he works with, and I think the exchange it affects all of us working with him.
Well, I believe the tide raises all boats. And that's the way I want to see this thing. It's like we all rise up.
want to thank everyone for coming and hearing Alan's presentation. And we've got more today, more going on. Thank you.